Welcome everyone, I'm Jordan Sharp. The NFL Draft is now complete and the LVH Sportsbook in Las Vegas is starting to release their future odds for division winners this season in the NFL. We've been taking a look at it over the last couple of days and it's time now to take a look at the NFC North, a division that should be hotly contested as it normally is almost every single season. And the favorites this season once again to coming out of the NFC North is the Green Bay Packers, who are minus 160 to win this division this season. I do think, however, they are a little bit overvalued considering they haven't done a whole lot this offseason and they have lost a couple of starters on both sides of the ball that will need to be replaced. Now, I think they'll do it pretty easily. I like their draft. I think they had a very, very good draft, and they brought in a couple of value veterans as well on the defensive end, so they should be a very improved team, but they did lose, like I said, a couple of starters, M.D. Jennings, James Jones, and the like. Evan Dietrich Smith also gone now, so a couple of guys that are going to need to be replaced, but overall, this team does look like the best team on paper in the NFC North, but at minus 160, I do think they are slightly overvalued. I don't think they should be laying this much at all. Next up is the Detroit Lions, who come in at 3-1 plus 300 to win this division. And after the season they had last year, and with all the new faces in Detroit right now, I really think plus 300 is very much overvaluing them. I'm not a big fan of Matt Stafford, even though I think obviously he has the best wide receiver in football. It's still just a question mark. A lot of question marks for this team. And after the year they had, just to be at 3-1 and second favorite in this division, I think Detroit is absolutely overvalued at this point in time. Now, on the contrary to that, the Chicago Bears come in at plus 350. I think they actually may be the most undervalued team in this division at plus 350. They have a lot of additions this offseason. They spent a lot of money, especially on that defensive side of the football, and that's a problem that I think they're not going to have from 2013, where they were really a horrible defensive team because of all the injuries they sustained. But they did re-sign both of their corners, Peanut Tillman and Tillman and Tim Jennings will be back both for this team, so that's huge. I think on that side of the ball, they also drafted Kyle Fuller in the first round, so they've got some depth now at cornerback to compete with the pass-happy teams in that division, as well as I think their defensive front is definitely going to be fixed after a huge offseason of, like I said, acquisitions and draft picks. So at plus 350, they could challenge the Packers here, and they're a pretty good value. Might not be a bad value play here this offseason. And finally is the Minnesota Vikings at plus 1,800, 18-1, who, of course, they traded back up into the first round after trading down in the first round to get Teddy Bridgewater at number 32 overall in the first round. Obviously, with a rookie quarterback, new coaching regime as well in Minnesota, things are probably going to take some time, so not likely to be a very solid bet here at 18-1. But that isn't necessarily to say they don't have value, because if everything falls into place, and I mean everything would need to fall into place, they'd probably have to get lucky with some injuries for Chicago and Green Bay as well. But winning this division is not out of the question for Minnesota. It would just be that literally everything in the whole entire league would have to go right for them, and as we know in the NFL, nothing. There are no seasons like that almost ever. So with Minnesota at plus 1,800, probably not a great value, but not without value, I will say that. So that'll do for the NFC North. Make sure you check out a couple of the other divisions I have as well in the NFC, as well as all the other divisions in the AFC. But until then, I'm Jordan Sharp, and this has been another edition of the Sharp Pick.